correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
Welcome to Me and Steve Talk RPGs, a podcast where me and my friend Steve...
We're playing games this time.
All right, guys. Who remembers what happened last time?
Slathering.
Lots of slathering.
All right. Does someone remember want to go, or do you want me to do it?
Okay, I do actually. I can actually. Now it's all coming back to me. So we had, unfortunately, went to the wrong bar entirely, thanks to me, and got slathered while we were lost in the red light district, and someone else was getting slathered in a different way. Massage, right? I can't remember which one of us. I think it was young Steve. Yeah.
Yes.
Young Steve got the massage for trade for alchemical oil.
The best massage potion ever.
Did it give him like feathers and then like cause you to molt them and all that jazz? Like some really wacky stuff?
Correct.
There you go. Yeah. While he was getting his massage, the rest of us went to the bar that was nearby, but wasn't the bar we were after. It was the Rusty, and I can't remember the name of the bar, but whatever. Got slathered there and ended up finding the exact place we needed to go after he was done, and we just walked into the Rusty Spoon.
And we had a contest of the silly things that happen when you do the slathering. There was a drink, and I forget, you rubbed it on your face, and yes, we played a drinking game.
And it was fabulous.
So the slathering comes from Karlax misusing a local colloquial saying all slathered up a lot, which is in reference to a drinking game that Karlax doesn't really understand. And often says they're getting all slathered up when they're getting a mineral massage.
Right.
Which then led to the drinking competition. Kulweg, as you said, traded a potion for full body massage. However, while it does help people relax, part of the exfoliating process is them growing feathers and then molting. While Prang went to an antique shop that had chocolates that looked like antiques. And I forget what the chocolates did to you. You tried to follow the signal and flare people, but kind of got distracted and lost. Ended up in this chocolate shop. And when you eat them, you hear a chorus of angelic songs, and your mouth emits a bright light.
Yes, it does.
So I would down those chocolates.
Well, you're not going to need a...
if they were in real life, I would love those.
Well, I was just acknowledging you're probably never going to need a light again, because you can just have him eat a chocolate and open his mouth.
Right? Just wah.
Better than casting light in a scroll tube.
And then Barney competed in the Slather It Up competition, made a Picasso on their face, but started vomiting bubbles that his competitor turned into a giant hat and beard, though ultimately did win the competition. And
I got real lucky.
While drunk, has remembered the secret passcode to get into the Rusty Spoon, as it is a speakeasy. So you guys went in, and it was, I can't remember what I said it was, but you went down, twisted it, opened it up, and we're going to step into the space this session. So I think what we're going to do is... Who feels the most invested in the Rusty Spoon? I need two of you guys.
I really want to take a crack at this.
Okay. Then this one will be for you, Eric. I don't know how to make it legible. Do you want
I
me
can
to
just
read
follow
it?
you up. Hold on. I can focus on you and I can read it.
Okay.
Crowded green?
Can you just turn it a little bit away from the light? The other way. Nope.
It's my computer screen.
Oh. Put your hand on the side of it. Yeah, that's better, and a little bit closer. Okay, so I need a top and a bottom.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you have your
I'm gonna
two?
just write those down.
Yep. And so what you're going to do is using those prompts, you're going to describe a physical component about the tavern you are walking into. All right, Terry.
All right, let's see. Pulling up my notes, my notepad on my phone because I can't find my notepad in real life. Pull back
Steve, you are a beast.
A little closer?
You're drinking Mountain Dew at 7:30 at night when you're going to try to go to bed in half an hour. You are
2
a
hours.
baller, bro.
What is that one?
I can't see it if I'm holding up to my camera.
I mean, I can drink Mountain Dew and then just go straight to sleep. And the caffeine doesn't affect me.
It is not one to focus on it.
All right. It is partially destroyed, recently stolen, witch cursed, sticky mildew, tied with pilgrim waypoint, blacksmith shipment, treasure map, and rope bridge.
All right.
All right. So the door opens. Sound washes over you guys. There's a bard playing music in the background. There's scents in the air. And there is... Eric, are you ready?
I am. This is a port city, right?
Sure.
So being a port city, there is often some, usually seafarer, but there's
Skyfarers, but yeah.
Skyfarers, right. So instead of, what the hell? Every time the song changes, the volume shoots up.
Change your master volume. The master volume in the Foundry page.
I'll just turn off the music.
Oh, the settings. Okay.
I just turned off the music. It was more annoyance than it was beneficial.
So typically, normal seashells, they are on beaches and things like that.
Sure.
These ones are actually old fossils from a time when maybe there was water. They're carved out of the side of cliffs, and they have various precious gems, sometimes stones that can be used for runes in them. And these ones here are actually used to decorate the bar itself. So when you walk in, all along the rail of the bar are these old looking seashells that have various colored gemstones encrusted onto them, and over the bar is lacquered or epoxied. So when the lights from wherever it is glint off of this, it hits this rail of the bar and shoots all of these various colored lights throughout the whole bar. So it kind of looks like almost like a disco ball type of thing, but stained glass effect more than like disco ball. So that's the most notable feature that hits you when you come into this place.
So to make it a little bit more magical, I think what we'll say is these seashells are actually from a mythic creature that was said to kind of exist before the searing, and it actually, I think it maybe existed.
Like a nautilus?
What's a nautilus?
Oh yeah, it's like prehistoric shellfish.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And I think that what we're going to say is the shells, because these things are so old that they accumulated the magic and kind of create almost like pearl type crystals in them. And I think those crystals do something magical for the bar. What is that magical thing?
They project scenery of places that this ancient creature had been previously and the way that things looked prior to the sundering.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so I'm going to modify it a little bit. I think that you occasionally, because it's been around for, this thing is thought to be really old, but occasionally you get images post searing, and some of them look rather modern. It's almost like the shells are still connected to a creature that might still be alive and wandering the planet.
Ooh.
That sounds good.
Oh, is it my turn for the Next part?
Yeah, I'm just typing stuff.
Oh, no worries.
But you can go. I talk and type for a living, so I can do that.
Okay, cool. So along with the ornate, beautiful, shining pieces of shell fossil, there are also parts of the bar that, whether it was long before this bar had been created or sometime in the recent past, there are parts of the bar that are crumbled away and replaced with rope bridges and other rickety accoutrement.
Point of clarity, when you're saying bar, you mean the space, not the physical bar that Eric just built.
No, not the physical bar, but the flooring.
Let's say
around
tavern.
it.
Let's say tavern.
The rest of the tavern, yeah. The rest
We're
of the
using
tavern.
different words. Cool. Yeah. So let's take that a step further. This is the Isles of Antilles are known for having low density trees that are light and growing some of the best lift and flight crystals. So maybe they've deliberately built in some levitating sections within the tavern. How's that sound?
Yeah, and then you have to use a rope bridge to get up to.
Yeah.
Just by natural.
Well, some of that, some of these, places are probably held together by rope bridges and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. All right. So you guys kind of step in. You're hit by a smell. Steve, what is the drink that this bar is known for?
So, feel like it's something maybe made from a byproduct of some the Rift Uprine or something that Eric brought up. Like there's some sort of distillation process done with, some oil they secrete or something.
Oh, cool. Okay. Do you maybe want to do a sandwich then, or do you want it to be a drink?
Well, I was thinking, basically, I was thinking it's somehow distilled from some sort of fish,
Got
in
it.
quotes.
The jumpy fish.
Yes.
Yeah, Rift
Because they have some sort of natural ballast that has liquid in it, and that liquid is used to distill an alcohol.
There you go.
The Rift Uprines, a large flying fish that bamf into the celestial realm. Oh, it's really cool. I love this, Steve. Why don't we say that it's like high-end absinthe almost, and so they distill a drink from some of the oils that allow the fish to bamf. And so when people drink it, they're actually kind of seeing into the celestial realm a little bit.
Ooh, so it's almost like a hallucinogen.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe it's
some kind of green fairy.
I was thinking maybe somehow it's collected when they do the bamf and stored.
Yeah.
What do people think of that?
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
And it actually is helpful. So people, they don't have to kill the Uprine to do it. They do it live. It's almost like a refueling midair type of thing. They just harvest it from them.
Love it. I can just see there being schools that they are just going around collecting this from. It's kind of like Spice and Dune. It's like the shit of this fish that they're collecting and converting into this alcohol. I think it's going to be kind of a rare thing. This is not going to be this is a higher end drink. And it's not something you're going to just find in the red light district or whatnot. This is definitely a specialty curated drink. Cool. What is it called?
It's your drink, Steve. You got to name it.
Yeah.
Oh. So I want to play off the preen somehow.
Mine has nothing to do with the drink. I just had a funny thought. That's all.
Well, I feel like
we can come back to you, Steve, if you want to take a little time to think. I'm horrible at naming stuff, which is why I always make you guys name stuff. So I totally understand if you need a little
comes
moment.
Out.
Hey, I told you guys from the start, if all my NPCs are named Jane and Joe, there's a reason. Cool.
Celestiprine.
Ooh.
Oh. That almost sounds like a medication. Celestiprine. Ask your doctor if Celestiprine is right for you.
And if it lasts more than 4 hours, please seek your local emergency department. Cool. So you guys step into this, and it's down in, it's kind of this bigger space, but it's almost like a cop bar, right? This is where the signals and flares, the spooks of the Antilles Isles Navy go. And so you step in and it's bustling. You see that there's people floating up top, and their like table kind of islands are kind of floating, and they're kind of anchored by these rope bridges. And you see that there's a whole bunch of other space for people to be hanging out in. There's this bard who's kind of center. In the background, there is like a magical kind of fire that's not really giving off too much heat, but this bard is just playing music, and there's some people dancing. There's a bunch of people, eating, drinking. And it's just kind of this very lively. A lot of these people know each other. Most of them are regulars. There's some smattering of other people in this space as well. Right now, over the bar, Eric, what is the scenery that's kind of being displayed like up in the middle from the bar? What is the place that your magical shells are depicting?
The current place actually looks like an ocean. Like there's an ocean scene with old school ships on it.
Whoa, cool. I love it. So there still are oceans, but no one sails on them really, because there's even more dangerous stuff. So I love that kind of like, and you hear people kind of like, like almost laughing, jeering, and then other people kind of respecting it. And the bard is doing a great job of shifting the music that they're playing to kind of match the imagery that comes up. And the imagery kind of shifts and moves at its own pace. It's very much unpredictable. You don't know necessarily what it's going to show, when it's going to shift. And so there's this big bouncer. It's this elf that is just like muscled out, wearing a suit that is 2 sizes too small. They got a cigarette hanging out of one of their side of their mouth. You can see that there are weapons stashed on their person, and easily standing like 6.5 feet tall. Well, you knew the code to get in here, but you don't look like any of our regulars.
We may not be one of your regulars, but we do know the code. And you know what they say about those who know the code.
I can't believe we chose that joke as the code. Yes, I know what they say about those who know the code.
And what would that be, sir?
I believe you're supposed to tell me what they say.
Ah, yes. To be showered with warmth and copious amounts of booze.
I hate this code. All right. You and your buddies. I don't want to fight, though. All right. This is a new suit.
Oh, perish the thought.
My mom knitted me this tie. I like it. I don't want it messed up.
We would never do something to ruin such a masterfully crafted tie.
I can't tell if you were just the nicest person ever, just full of so much shit, it's leaking out of your mouth. But I kind of like you. All right, but I have my eye on that one. That one looks a little sketchy.
Oh, I will I will watch him like a hawk. Don't you worry.
Perfect. All right, move along.
Thank you ever so much.
Perfect. So you're able to enter this big space. There's service staff going everywhere, all different types. Some of them appear to be animals dropping off food and drinks. Some are humanoid in nature. Like, it is just this busy, full of everything, whatever you guys would want to look for. So as you enter the space, what are you guys doing?
Anyone want to go first?
I think go ahead and scout around for a table big enough for us all to sit at.
For sure.
And see if there's someone coming around to take orders, or we have to go up to the bar and get them.
Yeah, totally. So I think you're able to find a bar, a table. It's probably not in the best location, maybe a little bit off to the side in a corner, but not like up against a wall where some of the more scrupulous people are kind of posted up. So it's not a great table, but definitely you find space that you're able to claim. And a waitress does come by, or a waiter comes by to take orders. So while Groth is doing that, what are other people going to be doing?
I think that I'll be taking a quick look around to see if we can see the spy folk that we're after.
It's a room full of a lot of spy folk.
I'm gonna post up in a corner somewhere and kind of keep an eye on what's going on.
Cool.
You know what I'll do? I will walk up to the nearest table of spy group folk and just introduce myself as cordially as possible. Offer to, actually, if we want to roleplay it, I can roleplay my walking up.
We are going to, and I also want to just fully applaud you because you went from a passive approach to a very active approach, and that is just perfect. And that is what we are looking for. So I love it.
Thank you.
We aren't really using story points. Otherwise, I'd give you a story point. So what we're going to just kind of say is to reward you going into this next moment. We're going to definitely just downgrade the difficulty of the first check you have to make. Or if it's a really fun narrative story, we're definitely just going to go with it because I love what you did there. Because you're going to take a chunk of time. I do want to just address the other two first. So Eric, Prang is probably going to want to explore, right? Cats always want to climb the highest thing. So I think you find your way up to kind of like the highest like island, and it's almost like a mini bar up top. I think they do a very specific kind of trade or drink or food at this location. What is it?
This food is actually going to be some type of like turtle-based soup.
Awesome.
It's got big chunks of turtle in it, along with some like root vegetables, and it's kind of more of a stew than a soup. So it's, I guess, a local tradition.
So I think that instead of like a sea turtle, there's going to be like a flying turtle equivalent. And so there's this big shell, and this is kind of like a more of a communal eating area. So it's almost designed for people without groups to come here and still kind of like sit down with other people. It's almost like a cafeteria type setting. So, people are just mingling, eating the stew, sharing stories. It's very much just this kind of like meant to be a melting pot for people to just kind of interactive randos. Love it. And then you're not in Foundry, Steve. Karlax.
Yes.
Karlax, excuse me. What are you wanting to do?
I think I'm kind of tagging along with Barnelby.
Love it.
Just because that was kind of the initial, kind of trying to my idea had been to kind of strike up a tech-based conversation.
Love it. Well, and you've talked about how Barnaby also kind of helps you socialize and so I think that makes tons of sense. Cool. So I think you guys are you going to just walk up to a random table, or are you guys going to kind of like try to choose a good table?
I think the table that is not completely shit-faced, but like right there in that sweet spot, not sober, well lubricated, exactly. Just that perfect middle point, like right before you hit drunk, where you're
Love it.
Just like that. That's the point.
Got it. So I think that it's this raucous table. It's clearly they're having a lot of fun. It is mostly people in uniform for the signal and flares. But there's also a couple other people at the table, and they're playing a drinking game. And it's like there's food on the table. There's just like mugs of drinks. Some people are coming up and going, but it's clearly like this meant to be this social thing for people to kind of engage in. So what do we think? Do you guys care what the game is? We don't have to define it unless it helps you role play. Otherwise, we can just say they're kind of like just in this raucous like activity.
It could be like a poker adjacent.
Sure. So there's a game, it's called Skulls, and it actually basically uses like coasters, and so you have to like call at a certain point trying to get an exact number, but everyone's like trying to like mess with everyone else. Yeah. So I think it's like that kind of it's almost like BS type game, like
like Liar's Dice or something like that.
Yeah, sure. So like that kind of like more of a social game, because like in poker, everyone's like trying to be like really like, you can't read me. So I think this is definitely going to be more of a like, oh, I know what you're doing. Oh no, I'm gonna get like that type of thing. So yeah, you guys walk up to the table and everyone is just going ham at this game.
Hello, gentlemen. Could I offer a round for the table?
Does anyone ever say no to an offer like that? Hey, get this guy a chair.
And one for my large friend.
Yes, of course. Get 2 chairs. And a round of the house best.
There we are.
So I think there's going to be like 6 people playing, like at the game. There's definitely people standing around them. So you guys are going to make it 8. Are you going to want to spring for the Celestia Preen, like the best drink, or what kind of drink are you thinking?
The Celestia Preen. Let's do it.
Yeah. And everyone at the table was like, oh, this guy. Oh, all right.
A shot of it.
This game is about to get weird. Perfect. I can't tell if Hagan's still around, but Eric, if you want to jump in as an NPC, you're more than welcome to join me.
I just turned off my camera because I'm eating.
Okay, cool. Well, if you're eating, then don't worry about it now. But going forwards, if you want to hop in as an NPC, so I think there's probably going to be like 2 main signal and flare guys. They're kind of like the ones in, like they're the head honchos at the table with information, and then like everyone else is kind of like either friends of or like locals, but they're kind of like the ones that you want to talk to.
Did we say we had kind of like walkie-talkie, like earpiece things, right? Did we say that?
No, you said it, but I said no.
Oh.
Okay. I didn't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember having those.
Okay. I have a few games going on, and that's a thing in one of my games. I just have to remember which one it is.
I think we have like an intercom system on the ship.
Yeah, but it's like super basic.
So what I said is that's the type of thing you guys could develop, but that's not necessarily. So like right now, people are still mailing letters, or there's some basic technology where it's almost like a fax machine where like 2 crystals, 2 runes are connected. So like one person will write with one and the other one will also write. So like that's kind of the current technology, but that's the type of thing that Karlax potentially could develop in the future.
So who's playing this game?
So the people at the table are complete randos, so we can do whatever we want. But I'm thinking there'll be at least like 2 higher, moderately ranked signals and flare individuals that are worth trying to like befriend and get on their good side. Then there'll be some other signal and flares, and then a couple like local people from the community that are welcomed in this bar or tavern.
And who's playing from our side? Barney
and Karlax.
Well, so I'm up top, and I thought that trying to remember. I don't believe I wrote it down. Did we establish that we have some kind of secret hand signal code thing between us, or no?
We haven't done that before yet. No.
Okay.
I think you have a secret handshake with one of us, but it's not a whole group thing.
Okay.
That was a backstory point for you and one of us, and I know it wasn't me. It was someone else.
I can look. What I would say, Eric, is that being on a ship flying through the sky, you guys probably all have basic hand communication, but it's very, basic, not very complex, messages. So if you're going to try to help them cheat at the game from up there, it is definitely, they can't see you. You're like up. And there's not a, hey man, you should put that current one in and then fold. No, there's not that level of answer.
That's kind of what I was trying to do.
I mean, if you can explain to me narratively how you're going to pull that shit off, but like, that this floating table has to be high enough above these people that they're not hitting their heads. I said it was the highest point. So that's towards the ceiling. So you're pretty high up there.
All right. I'm gonna actually be up there then. I'm just gonna watch. I'm gonna kind of keep an eye on the mannerisms of the opponents.
Sure.
And I'm actually gonna watch out and see if there's other people in the area that are cheating. So I'm gonna be an anti-cheater instead of a cheater.
Sure.
That's the way to play it.
So my question was, do you want to play one of the NPCs with me? And I didn't. Okay, sorry, I didn't quite hear an answer for that one. So I was like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
I was trying to establish I was going to be more directly involved in the narrative as Prangalar.
If you want to stay in that, that's totally cool. You could also come down and join them at the table if you want. But I think if you're kind of doing Overwatch, it's going to be hard for you to like engage with them, if that makes sense.
I mean, I got a bow.
It's a room full of military officers.
That's one way to engage in the detection.
Technically, it's a true statement. Well, and it's full of Antilles people, your favorite. So I'm sure you feel really comfortable right now.
Yep.
Hey, you come here often? No, I hate you. Go away. Anyways.
Screw you guys. I'm going out.
Yeah.
I guess I'll come down a little bit so I can be more aware of the area itself, but I'll play one of the NPCs.
Do whatever you want. You don't have to if you don't want to. Cool. So I think the shots arrive and everyone is like, "Hey, we're like best friends already! Cheers to the new guy who's called."
You can call me Barney.
Barney, yeah, Barney, and everyone takes a shot. And what does Karlax do?
I think he's kind of probably just kind of curiously observing. I mean, he doesn't make
take a shot.
I mean, he'll take it, but he's immune to toxins.
Yeah, so maybe something else happens because this is magical.
Yeah, fair.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I mean, he'll play along.
Cool.
I think he's more watching the game than actively participating at this point.
Well, and again, it's kind of like more of that kind of game that you play with your friends while you're hanging out at a bar. It's not like a hardcore game. It's kind of more just something to be doing while you're socializing.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Hey, I think, I'm horrible at accents. So I think I've already used up all my different people. So I think that there's gonna be I haven't also made up all the different species in this world either. So if anybody has like things they love, we'll definitely incorporate them. So I think that there's going to be just this orc, just beautiful, luscious hair, that's stylized really nicely, very pristine, everything put together. She's wearing I'm not good at military rank, so a moderately high rank with the uniform, clearly is high up in signals and flares. Seems to be kind of like one of the movers and shakers at this table. You get the sense that it's probably like not playing to their fullest capacity because they're more interested in just building the group and having a fun time than necessarily like just decimating people in the game. Well, welcome. It's always good to have a new face. I don't think we've seen you around here before.
No, I don't think you would have. We're part of the Comet's tail.
Oh, I've heard about that ship. You've been rather successful in harassing the Claire's shipments of late.
Oh, yes, we have. Well,
I didn't realize you were back in port. Well, my name is Charla, and this here's my best friend. And smacks who, Eric?
This happens to be a human male, rather wiry.
Love it.
He looks like he's potentially like a comms officer.
Cool.
And he says, Charla, I wish you wouldn't hit me so hard. You know it leaves a bruise every time you do.
I'm sorry. I apologize, my friends. You know, I get so into this game, and now I'm kind of seeing the celestial realm a little bit. You know, it's just I'm seeing all the possibilities. It's so fascinating to just, you just think about something and it could become real. It's so intriguing. You know, not all of us can get lost in languages like you. I can't speak all of those languages that you can.
I'm sure you could if you applied yourself a little bit better. You're always into more the social side of things, and instead of buckling yourself down, and you could have been like a rear admiral by this point.
Oh, what can I say? I enjoy hanging out with my friends at the table. Speaking of which, new friends are always great to meet. So tell us your story, especially your constructed friend there.
Oh, Karlax, would you like to take this? It is directed at you, of course.
Okay. So well, I tend to well, frankly, I was wondering if any of you had any experience with those new Lexatech 4000 series crystal sets. I was curious if, we have an old 2000 and, well, I'm forever having to mess with the modulators and the crystals and didn't know if the new models were any better. I was wondering if perhaps I should, speak to our captain about upgrading our own.
Signal array. Let's just say it's a signal array so that way we can play into Eric's character a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
What was your character's name again, Eric?
It's Tomas Lathander.
Yeah, so I think this is like, I think what Karlax is asking about is Tomas's like jam. Like it's a little antique-y, but like that's it's in the comms world, so like it's like a ham radio operator almost.
Yeah, I'm talking about like the like you said, this the comm set signal array.
Yeah.
You still have a 2000?
Well, look,
funds as they are sometimes have to be allocated to more important pieces of the ship.
What could be more important than staying in contact with your people?
Well, the flotation crystal for one.
Yes.
Unfortunately, repairs and replacements can be ghastly.
Well,
not falling out of size seems to be a priority.
Well, fine, but the 4000 did take care of that problem. If you remodulate it 30 degrees to the right, and then you change the density of it by about 0.5, that should take care of your problem in the 2000.
Okay, that explains it. I've been going to the left and at 0.7, and I thank you so much. This sets can be so finicky.
Oh, sure. I used to have one on one of the ships that I used to serve on when I was, a regular enlisted. But now, now they need me here on the shore more often.
Yes, unfortunately, we've been capturing more concerning signals coming out of Karlax.
Really now? Care to share? We might also have some interesting information we may have heard upon a birdie's branch.
Tomas, I don't understand on a birdie's branch. Is this a comm person lingo? I'm afraid I'm not familiar.
I'm being a bit flowery with my language. I apologize.
You're being a little birdie with your language, I think is what you mean.
Of course. A sharp one you are. I do mean to say, we might have some interesting information to trade with one another.
I mean, our information is military secret, so I'm not sure we can necessarily share everything with you, but...
Of course. We could also happen to share what we know, and you can determine the best trade for that information.
I think she looks at Tomas and, kind of... we got a free drink out of it. I guess it doesn't hurt. Should we maybe move to a more secluded area, or can just anyone hear this?
I do think that it would be among the best interests to find a more private location.
Yes, I would agree.
So I think you guys are going to be able to lead them back to the table that Groth has been able to secure.
Yes.
So Charla has this like wine chalice and is carrying a sandwich from the table and kind of walks over leading Tomas. What drink does Tomas have in hand?
He just has like what the equivalent of like a lemonade would be. He doesn't drink alcohol. But it does have one of those umbrellas in it.
Love it. In a straw?
Yeah, and like a piece of some kind of fruit.
Love it.
That isn't citrusy, so it makes it kind of weird.
Got it. It's almost like a mango-y, like almost like a meaty flavor or something.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like a chewy lemonade.
Ooh, that actually sounds good.
Mm.
Weird, but good. Texturally weird, but...
Right. So, this information you think we'll find valuable, my friend?
Oh, of course.
I think at this point, Karlax and Tomas are just full on nerding out about tech stuff. Like, anyone within earshot is just going to be confused by anything we're saying.
Excellent. That's the perfect cover.
100%.
And of course, me and what was her name again?
Charla
are sitting on the inside of the booth. They're sitting on the outside of the booth. So anyone just casually walking past will just hear these two just rattling off.
Right. And pretending we're turning knobs. And
exactly. But anyway.
So as soon as you're kind of in that secluded space, Charla stays very upbeat, but like there's almost like a professionalism that kind of snaps into place. Right. It's not often that I have people approach me in this place with information, but I've heard tale that your captain is, well, even though they got discharged from the Navy under questionable reasons, they're supposed to be pretty good at what they do. So if you have some information from him, I'm willing to listen.
Oh, of course, and it's information that we had come across in our latest misadventure that has piqued interest.
How exactly did you come to this information?
Well, of course. Oh goodness, what was the antagonistic kingdom's name again?
Karlax.
Karlax. Thank you. Eventually it'll stick.
You're good.
So we seemed to, when we were accosting the Karlax ship, the ships that were attacking a friendly vessel, we ended up attaining a.
Wait a second. What are you talking? Oh crap! What did I name the heavy cruiser? We'll call it the Celestial Pride. Wait, are you talking about the Celestial Pride, the heavy cruiser that's missing?
Indeed, we have more than just information on its whereabouts.
She's gonna grab you by the front of your shirt and like pull you in, like into her tusks. Like that ship was on a secret mission. How can you know about it? It's missed its call-ins.
Yes, it did, and I can tell you why. If you would kindly remove your. Thank you.
Sorry, I apologize. However,
one gets excited in important conversations.
This is a matter of national security, so.
And is it exactly the reason we came to you? To discuss such delicate matters. Now, the Celestial Pride was under attack from attack name. What was the name again?
Karlax.
Karlax are under attack from Karlax warships. Now, unfortunately, the Celestial Pride and its crew, most of them, with the exception of the ones we saved, did pass away, including the special guest that was on board. And I'm sure you understand who I'm talking about.
I unfortunately do.
Indeed.
This is very valuable information. I'm afraid that we must get to actually make me a roll to see if she is believing you. I'm
just telling the truth, though.
Yeah, but you basically walked up to 007, said, "Hey, I know all about your secret mission, and I know how you did it, and I know what happened to it."
Oh shit! I just realized where you're going with this.
So it's not necessarily like you're lying to her. It's like, does she trust you, the individual? And I'm totally okay with this being a charm check because you are being charming about it. The other one would be a negotiation check because you aren't lying at all. I'm sorry. So in the system, negotiation is actually the default social check. So if it's not clear what category it falls under, negotiation is always what is rolled. But if it's clear someone is aiming for something different, that's when we start.
No, yeah, I think that charm works for me. Definitely.
Okay. So
how do I roll again? Gosh darn it.
Open your character sheet.
There it is. Yep. And then.
So charm is resisted by, I think is discipline.
And.
But I said I was going to make your check easier because you role played the way I wanted you to. So instead of this being incredibly difficult, because this is a very disciplined person, I think what we're going to say is 2 green, 1 red because of your prior choices.
Wait, what?
2 purple? Not 2 green?
I say? 1 red.
2 green, 1 red.
Sorry, 1 purple. 1 purple, 1 red.
Okay,
I was trying to look at, trying to confirm that it is discipline that resists charm. So I was doing a couple things at once. But it's not in my cheat sheet for some reason.
Oh no.
I believe it is.
Oh,
that sounds right.
Let's see. So just to verify, my charm versus with 1 red, 1 purple?
Correct.
Cool. Just want to make sure. That's what we got.
That's a triumph and 4 successes.
Damn.
So Charla is very much believing everything you're saying. You're able to kind of like name drop a couple of the officers. Did you guys ever see The Expanse? Holy
Just
shit.
started it.
I don't know if I can keep talking to this group. Okay.
Hold
I
on.
said it was
The guy that gets 0 pop culture references is giving us crap about The Expanse.
Or Rock? Like,
All right,
I've never seen anything that Bruce Campbell has ever done.
First off, it's any music reference I fully own. I don't get.
Okay, do I get bonus points for the fact that the colors in the show's logo are inspired by the season 4 trailer graphic?
What? Okay. Yeah, take a bonus on your next roll.
I mean, my sister did the graphic, but still.
Anyways, so I can't use the example I was going to use since you guys are Philistines who you have a house to yourself, sir. You have no excuses not to be watching The Expanse over the next month. Anyways, basically
get through the Orville first.
great show, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate. So I think what happens is you're able to like name drop a couple of the surviving officers that you guys rescued, like enough to prove that you were helping out the people. So Totally's buying in. Do you have a sense of what you want your triumph to be? And you can hold on to that and pull it out in the conversation as we go forwards.
I think I'd like to save it.
Cool.
I mean, it's a 4 success and a triumph, so might as well save it.
Yeah. She totally on board. You're telling enough. So this is the information that the Celestial Pride went down with its package. That's not good.
Quite. It didn't go down with the package. The package was transferred, to say.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about. I just knew that there was an individual that they were transporting away from Karlax. Actually, stop talking. This might be above my pay grade. So you said that our ship was attacked by 3 Karlax destroyers.
Indeed.
That's an act of war. Why would they do this?
One of the higher ups of the Karlax, a suicide bomb, to say the best.
One of their inquisitors? They're known for doing radical stuff like that.
Indeed. They were very adamant at sinking the ship. They did.
They clearly wanted the asset back and decided that it was better to destroy themselves than let it fall into our hands.
Now, luckily,
it's a shame. They were supposed to have information crucial for us. It's a shame that information has been lost.
Of course, yes.
I will say
there was other information that we came across. Some plans detailing a Karlax attack on Tellus.
It's just gonna like slap their hand over your mouth. This place is not safe to discuss an imminent attack by an enemy nation state. Tomas, we must go back to headquarters quickly.
He puts up his finger and like tells her to hold on a second. So that's why we were able to get out of it, because I was able to change a signal to mask it like it was their own, and we slipped right by them.
Oh, that's brilliant. You know, sometimes I've tried that, but I need to get a couple of more modulators.
Thomas, order 66.
Really? Again?
Yes. Unfortunately, again.
I feel like you overused that.
Karlax, dear boy, we need to move locations.
Okay.
Right.
You can continue your conversation at the headquarters. I guarantee it.
So Charla lets out this high piercing whistle, and a bunch of different people from around the room, some of whom, Prang, you've kind of clocked, kind of stand up and they kind of come together. There's maybe like 6 of them in total, and they're clearly like part of her unit. And she, does this motion. Right, we've come into some high-level intel. We need to get back to verify this. Will you come with us?
Of course, I would love nothing more.
Perfect.
Hey, Tomas, do you think you could show me the back of the 4000? I'd love to see what it looks like inside.
Yeah. Let's just go with them. We'll get what they need, and then we can bugger off
Right.
somewhere.
Okay.
So
I would like to talk to you about your makeup. Actually, I've never seen someone like you before, so you're very intriguing in of yourself.
Perhaps I don't know. I just am what I am.
Careful, Tomas. Don't go poking around too much.
I would
He
never
is a
poke. I
dear
would never
friend of
poke.
mine.
I would never
Excellent.
poke unprovoked.
I was gonna say, I feel like you guys said you're okay with intra-character romances, so I'm just saying. Are we gonna pull a data here? Or someone's watching the Orville, so I'm just gonna don't want to give anything away too much there, but yeah.
Karlax is sitting on the egg.
I have no idea what that means because I have not watched the Orville.
Likewise.
Season 1 is a little rough for me. I didn't really love any of the characters, but then like season 2 shifts and you're still like, oh my gosh, I love all these characters, but they have some just almost like Star Trek level social commentary episodes that are really good.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, with blast
Seth.
Seth MacFarlane. Yes. I've seen like little clips and pieces of it here and there, but I haven't watched. I haven't committed to watching a full episode yet.
See, I've seen all the pop culture that matters.
That matters.
Important pop culture as decided by.
Well, I can't do like creepy horror stuff, so also, like, that does limit some things. But anyways, so some of the group of the signals and flares people are kind of going out as like a screen, and Charla and Tomas are going to be leading, I guess, at least Barney and Karlax. Groth, you've been there. Are you following?
Yeah, it seems like we're not really using the table.
Cool. And Prang, what have you been doing this whole time?
I'm gonna slip out and follow them, like, kind of behind, like not noticed behind.
Okay.
And because I kind of want to test their readiness to see if they notice me.
So you have two options here. You can make a stealth check to try to go unnoticed, or you can make a perceptions check to see if you can pick up on things.
That's the one I'm going to make.
You want to make a perceptions check?
Yes, please.
So why don't you make me a hard perceptions check? But if you roll enough threat, you are going to be noticed.
All right. Let's see. Let's build a pool. So hard perceptions. So I need 3 purples. All right.
Ooh.
Right. So while you're kind of scanning, someone in uniform kind of comes up behind you and says, "Bend over, and I'll show you where the wild." No, I'm joking.
Whoa.
Start. Oh my gosh, Super Troopers, classic. Probably before your time, Terry.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Ouch.
But not too much before my time, but like.
That hurts me. I can't imagine what it does for you guys. Anyways, so a signals and flare guy comes up behind Prang and says, "Can I help you, sir?"
That depends.
Well, it seems that you are taking interest in my boss.
It's more so an interest in my crew, but your boss is interesting as well.
Ah, so you're one of the Comet's tail.
Yes, my job is to make sure that they are safe.
Then perhaps we can walk together and keep them safe.
Fine by me. I'm glad you're as observant as I am.
Yeah, perhaps we can try to walk softer so that no one else notices us. By the looks of you, I'm sure you're up for the task.
Oh, of course.
Perfect. So I think you guys are able to kind of start slinking around. Most of the scouts have kind of peeled off, so it's mostly just Prang, this other guy, and then Charla, as well as Tomas. And you're not quite sure where the other people went, but they're probably out like delivering messages because you're bringing in some like pretty important stuff. you guys get led down, or what's everyone else doing in the group? I kind of feel like there's small talk happening, unless you guys specifically are trying to do certain things.
Yeah, I think it's at least on Karlax's end. I think it's more small tech talk.
Perfect.
And
So
then on my end, I imagine just expressing niceties and just trying to be aloof.
yep. Well, you still have that triumph in your back pocket too.
Oh yeah.
So, you guys are kind of like going out of the very populated part of town. You are moving towards the dock area, and you get the sense that like their headquarters is a little bit of a secret, so they're kind of taking you a little bit out of the way, to try to avoid making it very obvious where they're going, but at the same time appear to be in a rush to get there. It sounds like the only person who's really like on guard is Prong. Could you make me a vigilance check? And it's gonna be 1 red, 1 purple. Oh, sorry, 1 red, 2 purple.
Me?
Are you Prong?
Oh wait, no, yeah, sorry. I didn't
You're
realize
fine?
I didn't realize you were talking to Prong.
No, you're distracted with your conversation.
All right. I don't think I have any talents that help this, so that's going to be a brutal check. All right. 1 red, 2 purple.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. 2 failures.
All right. So you don't notice anything, but you guys pass through a particularly dark alleyway when suddenly a figure is standing at the end of the entranceway. And you can tell that they're pretty heavily armored. They're wearing rugged but street clothes. This is a particularly large dwarf. Hey, I think you're going to want to hand over those people from the Comet's tail to me, because we have a discussion we need to have.
And what discussion would that be, dear sir?
Well, that's for you to find out.
That doesn't sound too promising.
I didn't
You
say
couldn't
it
give me a
was.
little bit of a hint? A little tiny elucidation?
I really hate you and your language, you know that? Like, you could just use simple words. You don't got to try to make me feel stupid by using your big-ass thesauruses.
If it helps, I don't quite know what he was saying either.
Unfortunately, I'm a bit wordy. I do apologize. Is there a way you could... let me rephrase. Could you possibly tell me what you want?
We are going to have a conversation.
Yes, but what is the nature of the conversation?
A hostile one. I'm threatening you right now.
Of course, but what is the threat? What's the danger? What's the genre of threat? Are we life-taking, information, money, extortion? I mean, I need to know.
So this dwarf is like rubbing their forehead. I better be getting combat pay for this. The Karlax Empire wishes the pleasure of your company, whether you wish to give it or not.
Really now? I'm sure you would love my company, but you find yourself...
He is a very personable chap.
You do find yourself in a particularly difficult situation because you are in the middle of Antilles, leagues away from your home.
They let out a whistle, and you notice several people on the rooftops on the other sides of the alley come into view, and 2 people step out at the back of the entrance of the alleyway. Let's say a group of 4 like kind of block the back of the alleyway. How about you let me worry about where I am, because it seems like you didn't worry about where you are. So are you coming?
Do you have
or do I get the
officer, someone I could talk to?
I can't wait. Yes, that's who I am trying to take you to. I can't wait to break your hand.
Could you bring them?
Hold on a minute here.
No.
You said you wanted to have a conversation.
Yes.
And Barnelby has been having a conversation with you. So you have gotten what you wanted. So why don't you let us go on about what we're doing, since you've had what you came to get here?
You did indeed have a conversation.
My Bosses would love to have a conversation with you.
And you can't bring them to me.
No,
Why must I go to them? I don't even know where they are. And you know what they say about going to secondary locations with strangers now, don't you? What even is your name? We've never had proper introductions. Come now. There's must be parlay. This must be
and
something.
We're in combat.
Oh, he's just furious.
At this point, just wants to shut you the up. Yeah. Alrighty.
I would like to know the name of the men I will be slaughtering.
Guess you're gonna
he'll tell me with his dying breath. Don't worry, we'll get there.
It's good to hope.
It's good to whoosh. What kind of interaction have we got ourselves in? Oh goodness.
Time to cash those checks at Barney's mouth rights.
Do what?
Said time for us to cash those checks at Barney's mouth rights.
Yup.
On your mouth is writing checks that your butt can't cash.
Every damn day.
Okay. Since Steve's hamster can't run Foundry, we aren't gonna.
Oh, hamster.
What?
I just took a second to catch the reference.
I thought they were gerbils.
Which one's smaller?
Hamsters.
Then it's a hamster. Okay. So instead of using Foundry to track this, we'll just track it the old-fashioned way. So I think that you guys are gonna mostly be rolling vigilance, unless you can make an argument otherwise.
And initiative is just straight skill, no other things, right?
Correct.
Could I use my triumph now to add a bonus?
Because it's a skill check, not an initiative check. That
to upgrade my roll.
No, but I'll let you use your triumph to define something about the environment or the situation that is in your favor.
All right, I'll take it. And we're doing just the ability for vigilance, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I got a free move.
I'm trying to figure out how to actually roll the initiative.
Ooh.
What'd you roll, Steve?
Just one success.
Hey, up top. I did too.
Okay, I haven't used Foundry before. How am I rolling the dice?
Do you have your character sheet open?
I do.
Then you should be able to click on the dice symbols next to the skill.
Right, I did that, but it included 2 purples on me when it rolled.
Oh, you can just
right click twice on the purple and it'll remove it, or you can click in the box and you can.
Okay. It had toggled to use as initiative. So.
Prang. Oh goodness. Okay. So I already got yours, Hagan. I just ignored the purples. Okay. So there are currently 3 triumphs to define. So there is 2 archers up top, a minion group behind you, and then this badass in front of you. There are only 3 of the signal and flares people. I guess I probably should roll for them. Do you guys know what you want to do with your triumphs?
I thought the triumphs and initiative were just an extra move.
Sure.
But we
maneuver move?
Maneuver, yeah.
Technically, advantages are to define the environment, but I also don't really do that. I don't care. Whatever people want to do.
For my triumph, I was going to try to slip behind something and try to get up with the archers.
So why don't we say you get to define the environment, and so maybe there's some kind of way up.
Could it be a catwalk?
I love it. Maybe there's a scratch post halfway there. That's my triumph to distract
fire
you.
Escape.
And I'll say that along the left and right of us, there are food stalls and carts and sales like tchotchke carts and whatnot that we can hide behind if we need cover.
I did define this as a back alley. So it's a little bit more of refuse and like dumpsters than sales carts and food. But yeah, so there's places that you can kind of duck behind.
I'm gonna say if we could have like dumpsters with a lid, like the flip-up lids that are on dumpsters.
Sure. I like how we've defined the refuse situation of this world.
Hey, you gotta have a,
All right. And then out of nowhere, the enemies pop out, and that is where we'll end it for this week. Live in suspense.
Live in suspense.
Dun dun dun.
Intro and outro music by the band 12 Noon. You can email us at meandsteverpg@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter and RPGs. Find us on Facebook at Me and Steve RPG Podcast, on Discord at Me and Steve RPGs, and as always, all of these links are in the show notes. Thank you, and be kind to one another.
How much for the cigar?
Cigar, $20, dog. You gotta go down the street to the store and buy that.
Are you talking? Oh crap! What did I name the heavy cruiser? Does anyone remember if I gave a name to the heavy cruiser? All right,
swear there was it.
Steve, edit this part out. What's the name for the Antilles heavy cruiser that got attacked? We'll call it the Celestial Pride. On things.
That's the one I'm gonna make.
You want to make a perception check?
Yes, please.
Why is there a penis being held up to the screen right now?
Beryl won some free books from an author, and the author included a squishy penis.
Oh man, that's
apparently it's a popular add-on.
I mean,
Sign me up.
whatever gets you going. So, I love that we're recording this, but I am going to send you a picture because we were having a conversation about some of the weird things seen in an ER group, in an ER waiting room, or I guess there's something I've seen in an ER. And this is what my buddy managed to find.
I looked at R2 again. She's a huge
Give the R2.
I have the Stormlight Archives plushies from the boxes they're sending out.
Why is it so small, Ben?
What?
The picture. Why is it so small?
I don't know.
What picture?
Because I'm not trying to intimidate you guys.
A dinosaur.
Is that a T-Rex?
It's a T-Rex. Exactly what you think it is. T-Rex body and everything else. The rest.
Got it. Yeah,
so we're 3D print those.
We were just talking about things that had to be extracted in emergency departments. So my buddy found that alcohol bottle that looked a little sus.
Depends what you like.
I'd never want to remove anything from a butthole, but that's just me.
Oh, the bots are on. I'm not going there.
I have to,
So a lot of this is just gonna be edited out. This is not going to exist in the final cut. I can tell.
I hope Steve pays attention.
Well, there's been moments where it's like, "Hey, Steve, edit this out, but add this to the beginning of every game," and that didn't happen. So, but no, I get paid a good amount of money. I don't get paid enough to go doing that. So, anyways,